Hi everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a breakdown of the new Sims 4 Werewolf trailer. If you know me, you know I have been waiting for werewolves in The Sims 4 for many years now. My most popular video on YouTube is actually a video where I talk about my own concept for a werewolf game pack. Sadly, EA did not take up on my offer to hire me. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch the trailer and read the 2 blog posts and kind of analyze and break down the content they're giving us to kind of speculate on what we're getting. If you've watched one of these videos before from me, you know my process is we watch the trailer where I constantly will pause to break down images, talk about scenes, speculate on the gameplay, and highlight different create a sim and build and buy assets that really interest me. If you've not watched the trailer for The Sims 4 Werewolves yet, go ahead, pause this video, go do that, and then come back and watch this, because unlike other YouTubers, I'm not going to be watching the whole thing and reacting in real time. I've already watched it a bunch. I have my Salem Ouija board sweatshirt. It's the only thing I have that's kind of werewolf-esque. So let's talk about this video. So as we can see from this and some of the other clips we see of the town, we are getting a very much kind of post-industrial mill town kind of look. Something very similar to Evergreen Harbor, it seems like, except a little bit more industrialized, and doesn't seem like it ever really became anything else, where Evergreen Harbor has kind of become like a little suburb. This seems like it's just kind of been, for the most part, abandoned. This reminds me of a lot of the mill towns in New Hampshire, where I grew up. We have a lot of mill towns there, like Dover, for example, except Dover has pretty much cleaned itself up. It's a nice, cute little town, but you can see those old mill buildings and the old mills and the old factories. So I'm really interested to see this gameplay. A lot of people are saying the world reminds them of the Pacific Northwest, Washington and Oregon. I definitely get those vibes, so I feel like with seasons it probably rains here a lot. Here, looking at these 2 Sims, we have some great new outfits. This one is very patchwork, very put together, kind of very crafty. And I mean that kind of in a, not derogative, but not necessarily in a fine art way, if you know what I mean. It's very handmade looking. Very crunchy, also very crunchy granola. I do really like it. I think this is a very fun new look. I like this new hair. Here we see this sim in, once again, what looks like a new full body outfit. I don't think these are 2 separate items, but I really like it. It's very fall looking. Looking at the world, we see these kind of new windows. I don't think we're getting them in game though. I think this is just set dressing, which is sad. I would have loved a window like this. We are looking at some new graffiti. These are of dogs, specifically pugs, which I think is an interesting one, because I know in the United Kingdom, for example, they're moving to declassify pugs as official dog breeds, in hopes that they will not be bred anymore due to the fact that they are very inbred and have a lot of health issues. So don't know if they purposely picked it because of that kind of ongoing discussion, or if it's just kind of a happy coincidence, but I thought that was interesting. Here we have a little bit more look at some new assets I'm really interested in. This new industrial stair. I always use the industrial stair from Get to Work, but I like this one a lot more, so I think I'm gonna replace some of my builds, or the stairs in my builds, with these. I like this new door. It's very lots of scratch, really beat up. It's giving me these items, even this couch and this chair, would work very well with packs like Eco Lifestyle and even The Sims 4 Strangerville, so I like that. This couch I love. It's so gross. This, if anything The Sims 4 has bed bugs, it is this couch, and I support her for it. Here we have this kind of like workout area, and we're seeing this stone, which I'm pretty sure this is base game, and this flooring is also base game. What's interesting is we've seen these scratch and these like cracks on it. Those, I believe, are going to be like a new rug kind of accessory, if that makes sense. Like how in the rug category, not everything's a rug in the build and buy catalog. So that's what I think these are, which is nice because we haven't had anything like that yet in the game. This cracked mirror, this is great. I'm going to be using this all the time. This new punching bag with the frowny vampire. Once again, this kind of like old container, once again giving me very much Strangerville. Some of these items, also like the cracked mirror, I feel like could look really well in, like if you're trying to make a very dilapidated like haunted house. So I like that. A lot of these items seem like they can work well with other packs and themes, as well as they work very well for the theme they're selling here. Here we have the new lake. It's very beautiful. This very like shimmery water. I wonder if there's any like kind of specific gameplay like there is with the water in Tartosa, how like I think you get like a happy moodlet if you swim with the bioluminescent algae. So I wonder if there's any special gameplay, but I like here because it has like the moon and then these kind of look like stars. It's very pretty. Here we're getting another good look at the new world. It's very heavily forested, and I see why a lot of people are thinking of like Forks from like the Twilight series, but make it industrial. I like these kind of like smokestacks. I have a feeling they won't be in build and buy, but they might be in debug. But these are something I've been waiting for so long. These kind of big smokestacks. We have this build over here. I'm pretty sure this is a lot you can interact with. And you can see these kind of like new industrial beams and this like broken window. Really like it. These I'm assuming might be shells of some kind. Maybe this one especially. This one might not be, because the windows don't have the same kind of like effect these do, so who knows. We're seeing a hint at this new fence. Oh, I also see the very big astronomer station here. Interesting. And we're also seeing some kind of art, public art over here. A little hint at the new bar. And just like this world is very well put together. I think that's something The Sims 4 really does well. This here also, this part of the trailer is very scary, very spooky. I'm a big fan of that. It makes me feel like this gameplay can be played scary if you want. We have a look at this new trailer and this very overgrown lawn. I'm wondering if this trailer is like, because I know the sim gurus have been hinting that this is somehow related to a character in the game, like a pre-made character named Greg. So I wonder if this is like the creature keeper, where like you can't actually go in here, but there's like some rabbit hole gameplay. But I like these signs. Ooh, just looking at that werewolf run is so good. A lot of the clothes here I really like, but I've noticed a lot of them have things like paw prints on it, and that to me is a little turning me off. It's a little too cutesy, but I am happy to see it. Here we're looking at the world again. Once again, I'm thinking these windows, the reason I don't think they're actually in the game are just set dressing, because they have like kind of this like that faded glass, kind of like gross glass look, but who knows. I really like this new roof texture. I don't think we're getting it in game though. I think once again this is set dressing, but I really like it with like the moss on it. Like I said, this world's very beautiful, very green and vibrant, but also really like industrial and dirty. Here I like that it seems to be when you get bit, your sim has kind of like a glowing spot, which kind of like, I don't know if this is just for the trailer or if this is for the game. Here, once again, we get another good look at her outfit and see like everything has like wolves on it, and it's like cute. It's not personally what I like, but I think it works well for this pack and like the Sims, how they play. Here, we can see once again, the kind of where she was bit, and then we can see these really nice like galaxy looking fingernails. I'm liking it, and we also get a nice good look at her hair where we see it. Like the roots are a different color and there's these different strands. Really nice. This is a really fun hair. Here we're seeing some new gardening stuff. These I think are new planters. They might not be, but I think they are. We've already seen this outfit. Here's another one, which once again, I think this is full body. I don't think this is like a top and a bottom. And the reason I think that is just because of like the way the shirt tucks in, but I could be wrong. We have this new hair on this sim, which I really like. It's kind of got like a more looser curl, but has like these nice little hair accessories. Very nice. We have this new dress here, which seems like to be a mix of cottage living and eco lifestyle, which I really like. And we've already seen this look. Here we see kind of some kind of public art made out of logs or like log pieces. These big stumps, really fun. Oh, there's another thing. This tree here with like this secret path, it almost reminds me of the tree from from Willow Creek, where you go in. But I have a feeling this might be closer to the ones, like I think it might lead to a secret path that gets you to the mountain top sooner. I could be wrong though. And here we have some danglies, which are very nice, very fun. Here we have a look at some other another area, this kind of like trailer thing with a bunch of new decals. We're seeing decals like windows and walls. Some of them like these are very cutesy, and then some other are a little more intimidating. We have this sim here with some ripped jeans and like this werewolf shirt. This hair looks really good with the beanie. We have this other sim here, and we're looking at scars and ripped jeans. Really liking it. A little close up to this sim. I really like this. It's kind of like a mullet. It has like a braid, and then it has these earrings, which I personally don't think I'll be using. They're a little too cutesy for me, but I do like them. I think they once again fit the pack aesthetic. Oh, they fit the aesthetic of the pack very well. They also fit this sim very well. Here we have like some kind of underground bunker. It looks like another swatch for that door we saw earlier, which is fun that they come with many different swatches. Here, we're going to look at like this kind of underground bunker area. Oop, keep not pausing in time. I just want to quickly look at everything in here. This looks like a new wall, but I could be wrong. We have like some new kind of wall art. I really like this. This is super nice. We have this new moon mirror, which I love. I think this will pair very well with vampires and with Realm of Magic. So some nice cross-pack compatibility, like visually wise. Same with like this plant here. And then this lamp here, which we see a little bit better later. But like once again, I think these are items that can switch through packs very nicely. Here we have like a new stand, I'm pretty sure. I like this. This kind of like stacked up suitcase look. Once again with this really gross couch. And then this like werewolf gnome. That's very cute. We have like this new planter barrel, which is also once again very fun. Here on the wall, just looking at some of the stuff here, it looks like there's a cow plant in a... Oh, I don't think you can see. I think my camera's in the way. Give me 1 second. All right, just turned off my camera for a second. You can see up here in this top right corner, we have this like cow plant in a jar, very similar to the one from Paranormal Stuff, but this one's dead. And once again, we see this kind of like wolf sculpture that's really cool. This weird little alien looking thing. And then I think these are base game, these items, but I could be wrong. This new door I really like. These do remind me of kind of like that colonial revival style that we see in the 1900s in a lot of factories, but it's very worn down. I really like it. These new lights at the top, once again, very similar to stuff we've gotten in Get to Work, but very more broken. And then the image here that's the best is this painting of Vlad in the back, scratched out, hinting at some vampire and werewolf lore. Here we have the next room. This one kind of looks like a bedroom area. We have this table, which I really like this table with like the pull-out shelves. It kind of makes it a very crafty, very refurbished aesthetic. Over here we have this other new desk with this computer. I think this is a new computer. I could be wrong. This just might be an upgraded base game one, but this looks new to me. We get another good look at these chairs. Once again, very broken, very like worn out, repainted. I like it. This kind of like tire decor. This new chair as well with all the scratches, and we get another look at a bunch of like scratches and cracks that can go in the floor and the wall. some new cutesy decor and a new cutesy bunk bed, as well as this new cutesy bassinet. This new, what's it called? Like a little cabinet thing's very nice. Oh, I also forgot to totally mention it. Do you see that? It's a small telescope. We're getting a small telescope. And they've already confirmed we're getting one in the base game and then one in this pack. Here, we get another look. This is kind of like a workout area. We see some raw meat, which is gross. We see like a pile of like rubble and metal. I really like that. Over here we have this kind of like the new workout bench. We can see a little bit better. It's like taped together. It's disgusting. I love it. Here we see this table again. This like new table we're getting and some new swatches. Once again, we're also seeing a little bit of like just some new fun stuff. I think for me also the highlight though of all of this is this new clock. I love it. This new clock is great. And then we also have this little table set with like this moon thing. Don't really know what it is. And then this mushroom one and this plant one. Once again, these I think would work very well in both like vampire builds as well as spellcaster homes, as well as you also want to use them in like haunted houses. Like with the haunted house lot type from Paranormal. Like this pack seems to go very well with each other. Here we see this new kind of broken archway. Once again, love it. This once again I think can fit in both spellcaster and in vampire builds very well. So once again, I just think this pack goes very well with those other ones. And what also makes me happy is they've confirmed that there is some lore between spellcasters and werewolves and vampires. So I'm very excited to explore that. As you can see there, we are finally getting a moon cycle. I'm wondering if the moon cycle is going to come in the base game update beforehand, or if it's not going to be, or if it's going to come specifically with this pack. I think regardless of how we get it, I want it to have more gameplay outside of werewolves. Of course, having a role with werewolves is the most important. But I think, because there's a lot of lore around like witches, for example, with using certain spells and certain phases of the moon that I think that could be kind of tied in here. Like maybe spellcasters have stronger magic on full moon nights. We could tie it in with vampires. Some stories have vampires being more powerful under the full moon. And then also like things like mermaids, even with Island Living, how like the full moon affects the tides and how like the ocean flows, so that it could affect maybe how mermaids and their powers work. I just think the full moon can be have a lot of cross-pack compatibility, which is why I think it as a base game might work a little bit better. But even if it's with this pack, I really hope they tie it into more cults other than werewolves, but we'll have to see. Here we get to see the Sims transformation, and I don't know if this is their transformation every time or if it's your first time. We get kind of a look at the werewolf design. If you ever watched my video on like what I wanted out of werewolf pack, you'll know this is not like my ideal design. However, I don't hate this look. I think I really like the snout and the muzzle. I like the ears, and as we'll see with other ones, there seems to be a lot of customization with them to make them as cutesy or as animalistic or even as furry as you want them. Like there's some werewolves in this that look like furries, and I think for me it might be because they're in clothes, but we'll see. Here we see this group of werewolves also turn. And I'm wondering, since they turn like that, if that's how you turn after you've already been a werewolf, if that makes sense. In the blog post, they also talk about like if your fury your fury level, I think it's called your fury, not furry, fury level gets too high, your sim will turn into a werewolf. So I'm wondering if this is how they turn when they're angry, because this one looks so angry. It looks very scary. Once again, just looking at these different werewolves, I really like the ones with the ripped clothes. To me, that feels a little bit more werewolfy. The ones when they're in like perfectly fine clothes, to me, reads a little too much like furries, but that's just my own criticism. But once again, I do really like these designs. There are some things I wish they had done differently. However, I am very happy with how these look. They could have looked worse. And like how I just said, how some look like this looks like a furry. And I think it has to do with like the very neat clothing and then the very intentional use of like these like opposable fingers. Yeah. Here we can see though these new curtains and then like these fingerprints on the walls. Really like it. As you see there, we just got like a bunch of looks at a bunch of different werewolves. Ooh, this one's claws are really cool. So you can see there is a lot of variation that we can do with them, which is nice. Once again, this vampire mural, this nice little sweater I like. Once again, it's very cutesy. It kind of reminds me of cats and dogs. But like if it was thrown in the trash. And I mean that as a compliment. Another look at this really nice hair. Here we're looking at what I think was a werewolf marking its territory. Here we have a werewolf howling. We get a look at the new werewolf like battles, kind of like how vampires can fight. It looks fun. It looks really fun. I like that they howl when they win. It looks very fun. I'm a huge fan of it. New tug of war there's like a lot of new animations with this that I think are part of the reason this pack looks so good. Like these new running animations on all fours, very fun. The new howling like it's all a bunch of new animations, which I think is a very good thing. The world's beautiful. There looks like there's a lot of fun lore with this pack, so I'm so far very sold on it. All right, let's quickly just look at the blog posts. This one is the one in the link to the in the bio for the video, and it just goes over the key features. The key features for this are live on the wild side, what big teeth you'll have, transform into a werewolf, and embrace or fight your animalistic behavior. I like this because it really does seem like, and I'm assuming it's going to be with the skill tree that comes with it, that allows you to really play and explore different type of werewolf gameplay, if that makes sense. I'm really liking how these claws are looking. Once again, looking at them like this, I do think I prefer them not dressed, but I like that we have the option to dress them. I know some people are complaining that they don't have tails. To be fair, not all werewolves in every piece of media have tails, so it's not like something I'm super bummed about. And it does look like we have the ability to make some pretty scary werewolves. Alpha or lone wolf, craft your werewolf identity. Were you bitten or were you born into a werewolf family? However it happened, you've got to decide what kind of wolf you want to be. Find a pack to prowl the night with, meet your fated mate atop a howling point, or shun all that and try to make it as a lone wolf. I like this because I personally am not a huge fan of like the whole alpha wolf trope in werewolf stories. I prefer it when werewolf stories don't have that, like an American Werewolf in London, for example, or even the Wolfman. They don't really play into those like alpha wolf. And then other things like Teen Wolf and the Vampire Diaries and True Blood all kind of play into like the alpha wolf thing. I don't like it because it's based on like some pretty bad science that was like disproven by the person who like theorized it, and people now like to use it as like an excuse to like treat women shitty. They're like, I'm an alpha male. It's like, no, alpha males don't exist. There are animal communities that do have, and animal species that do have hierarchies, but wolves is not one of them. But I do like that they give you the option to play into that trope or to not. Because, like, once again, I probably won't play with it in that capacity, but I'm glad they gave that option because a lot of people do like that trope. There's a reason it's so popular. The Lycanthrope Lore. There's a lot to learn about werewolves and their origins, unravel vampire, werewolf, and spellcaster lore as you read books, discover secret tunnels, grow your collection, and interact with the denizens of Millwood Mill. So I like this because it seems like there's lots of ways to learn about the different lore. Like there's reading, but it also seems like you can actually talk to people. I like that because in vampires, you can ask people, other werewolves, about lore, but they don't always tell you. They just tell you to like get the tomes and read them, unless like they themselves are super high. Like if you ask like a pre-made sim like Vlad, or not Vlad, Caleb or Lilith, they just go, you should read the tomes. Like they're not super useful. So it looks like here that they've made people in the town who you can go and ask. So I do like that. It's almost like a Realm of Magic in that way, how you go to the knowledgeable sims and you get that info. So I like that. And I really like that there's a lot of cross-pack compatibility with werewolf, vampire, and spellcasters. I assume you don't need those packs to like really to get all that lore, but it seems like if you have those packs, you'll enjoy this pack more. Next, we have this other blog post called Embrace the Full Moon, Unleash Your Beastly Side in The Sims 4 Werewolves Game Pack. Has this really cutesy, poetic opening about, which I'm not going to read because it's just very long, but it's just introducing werewolves and like this very, and shows this very beautiful, serene thing that we saw in the trailer. I like it. Here it's talking about how in Moonwood Mill, the town used to be all like hustle and bustle around the lumber mill, but now the town is kind of more over forested, and it like isn't as populated as it used to be. And those who live here though have this kind of hidden history and knowledge, and if you dig deep enough, that you'll learn some fascinating secrets about the area. For example, you'll learn that during the full moon, you may notice that the crescent-shaped lake Lundvik has a magical shimmer to it, making it the perfect time to catch the elusive Luna fish, and that you can also climb up to Howling Point to collect the new moon petal, which I think is like the new harvestable. I wonder if you can plant it as well. And it says you can go looking for adventure and delve into the tunnels that run under town. You can learn all these things, and it seems like you don't have to be a werewolf to do this gameplay, but it does seem like you'll enjoy it more. Like here it says, in Moonwood Mill, there's plenty to do, especially if you're a werewolf. Heed the advice of locals, though. Stay out of Greg's way and you'll be okay. We don't know who Greg is. The Sims team hasn't revealed it yet, but he seems to be some kind of NPC that has specific gameplay with werewolves. Here we get a quick kind of look at the different kind of werewolves you can make. Once again, I'm not a huge fan of like these ones. They just look a little too like furries. However, I don't hate it, and I'm glad that people have the option to do this, because customizability and having the options to do all these things is something that makes The Sims 4 so exciting. Here we also look at some new assets, like this new ripped jean look with this shirt. Once again, this is a very cute look. I think this could go very well with someone trying to go night clubbing, as well as someone being a werewolf. Here we can see you can put different accessories like glasses and nose rings on. Here we have another look at this new outfit. It has like a medallion of some sort. You can put earrings on your wolves. Here we can see some new rings and a new bracelet as well. You can also put, it looks like, scars on your wolves. Here it talks more about like the creating your own wolf, and it does seem like it says a werewolf can be many things: fierce, playful, dramatic, cuddly, the list goes on. It seems like with the customizability with Create a Sim, and then with the skill tree that we're getting with it, that you can really craft the werewolf of your dreams. You can make a very scary one, or you can make a very playful one. Like here it talks about how you can paint on menacing scars to tell a story of a dramatic fight, or cover them in silly jellyfish. You have full control over your beast's form pelt, very similar to I'm assuming the how you can paint on pets and create a pet from cats and dogs. So once again, very fun. But yeah, here saying you can edit the structure of their face, their eyes, their ears, the tufts, and more. So like we are gonna have a lot of customizability and editing with them. So you can make one that maybe leans a little more into being a furry, or you can make one that's a very scary werewolf. Here it talks about how there's two like wolf packs that you can join if you want. One is the Moonwood Collective, a seasoned rustic werewolves that value tradition, community, and self-control. And then the Wild Fangs, a scrappy, free-spirited crew of rebellious werewolves that value self-improvement, self-acceptance, and then are inspired visually by like punk and grunge aesthetics. So I'm assuming the other ones are going to probably live in more like kind of like mansions and be fancy, and then these ones are more the grungy kind of free range ones. Here it says you can join either one if you want, and if you get good terms with the pack, the alpha of the pack will have you do some different trials, and if you complete those, you're allowed to join. The work doesn't end there though. Joining their packs comes with obligations, hierarchy, do's and don'ts. So it seems like joining a pack will actually have more like gameplay rather than like, oh, I'm in a wolf pack now. Seems like there's certain things you can and can't do, which is fun. Here, it talks kind of about like the different abilities you can unlock. It says with every howl, scratch, and transformation, a werewolf can grow their power to unlock new abilities, such as running swiftly on all fours, marking their territory, lunar resistance, and even immortality. Once again, I'm assuming these are all things on a skill tree you can buy. It says as your power grows, so does the unique ways in which your werewolf views the world. These are represented by a growing number of temperaments, which each that distinguishes how your sim's fury may grow. I'm assuming this is similar to how in vampires in the skill tree you buy like different skills like the vampiric run, the sun resistance, stuff like that. But then as you buy more, you have to buy like the curses, which are things like your sim is more thirsty, or your sim has an uncontrollable hiss. So I'm assuming it's like that. It seems here though, rather than using that to kind of like balance out your vampire, it seems here it affects your sim's fury. It says at all times a werewolf's fury is growing. Using your unique werewolf powers borrowed with other werewolves, hanging out in beast form, being under the full moon, or just doing behavior that conflicts with your temperaments will push your fury to increase more quickly. So it seems like the activities you do will probably cause this bar known as your fury to raise. This seems very similar to how in vampires you have like the vampiric power that you have to you do certain things so it like grows, like the meditating and stuff, and feeding. But then when you do vampiric things like compelling someone or like traveling as a bat, that vampiric power goes down. Or like how in Realm of Magic, your sims get a magical charge, and if you do too much magic in a short period of time, you risk overcharging. So here it seems here with this one, once your fury is maxed, transformation is imminent. And that's like in the video where the three transformed and they looked very angry. So I'm assuming those ones are like the anger kind of transformation, and not the like full moon transformation. Here we see that animation of them playing tug of war again. Here, just talking about there's a lot of lore in Moonwood Mills, and you'll discover hidden knowledge and its magical roots. You can meet with Wolfgang, the librarian at the center of town, and check out werewolf-themed books that unravel the truths about Moonwood's mysterious beasts. And then, there's a lot of secrets that you'll need to head out into the town and actually like interact with, and like do certain digging and looking around to get those like lost knowledge, because they're not all going to be in the library. It also says you can interact with the locals, and you don't just interact with them to join the pack if you want. You can do it to get to know them and to get knowledge and kind of like history and philosophy lessons through them. Even the town's non-aware Denzians have something to share, it mentions, which is interesting because with Realm of Magic and Forgotten Hollow, it seems like it's hinted at like that any humans in the area don't know anything about them, so that's interesting. Anyways, there's some other things, like you can go to the bar, and there's a bunch of community lots made by James Turner that come in this pack. But at the bar, you can learn about the Werebees remedy, which is not the cure for lycanthropy. That's a different thing. I'm assuming Werebees are some kind of like werewolf rabies. You can order a drink and some food. You'll be pleasantly surprised by their impressive array of meaty options at like these different bars. So, and then here it mentions Greg again, and it says you don't want to pry information out of him. So that's all the information we have right now. There's a bunch of stuff the Sim Gurus have confirmed and talked about on Twitter. Like they've confirmed we're getting a telescope both in the base game and in this pack. They've also confirmed this pack doesn't come with body hair, but that a future update will have it. So there's a lot of good information you can go on Twitter and get. But overall, this is kind of the official information we have on the pack. On June 10th, there will be a live stream, and then the following week, it will be released. I'm very excited for this pack. This is a pack I've been waiting so long for. And like I said, if you watched my last video, or my werewolf video, you'll know this isn't exactly how I envisioned them. However, I am quite happy with what they are giving us. I really do like the design of the werewolves. I like that there's so much push and pull you can do with them, that you can really make a very scary werewolf, or you can make a kind of furry looking human. I know what kind of werewolf I'm gonna make, but I do like that there's so much customization. It's just like how in Realm of Magic and vampires, and even with Get to Work with the aliens, and then Island Live with the Mermaids, there's so much customization that you can really make like your ideal version of this kind of creature. So I'm very excited about that. Let me know down below what you're excited for, and I will see you in the next one.